precise location, but we know lots of things that haven't happened. We know that it wasn't an American. We know that this didn't happen someplace else. We know where it came from. We also know that the Chinese Communist Party has not been forthright. We know that when there were doctors that reported this, they weren't able to speak. We know they've kicked out American journalists. We know that they've tried to cover this up. And then finally, we know that the United States, along with others all across the world, have tried to get into this place to find out what happened, where it began. It matters an awful lot to understand so that we can trace the history of this, so we can keep people safe even today. And yet the Chinese government has refused to allow those people in to conduct an investigation. The whole world is demanding that investigation. The world knows where this virus came from. President Trump's got it right. We need to make sure we understand where this precisely came from so that we can prevent something like this from ever happening again.
So in addition to that, the president is talking about WHO and what they did or didn't know, whether they were complicit with China in covering things up, whether they just bungled this or mismanaged it. But tonight over at NBC, we write about these investigations that are underway and say this: critics see the White House focus on China and the WHO as an effort to distract attention from the open question of what warnings Trump got in January and February from his own health and intelligence advisors during a time when he was downplaying the severity of the virus. And here is what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi had to say about the Trump administration and the virus.
No, and when did he know it? In addition to which, what did the scientists tell him and when did he tell them? Because actually, as a matter of fact, this president has presided over the worst disaster in our country's history.
So what do you make of those who say that looking into China or blaming the WHO is a distraction and that it's this administration that should be investigated?
Well, it's not a distraction. And I regret, this shouldn't become partisan. Americans all across the country are suffering economically. We've had now thousands of Americans that have died as a result of this virus. And we know where that virus started. I hope this doesn't become partisan. It's too serious a matter. There's too much work to do to make sure that something like this can't happen again. We have an obligation to protect the American people. I watched this president act quickly. I remember the conversations where the decision was tough, that we were going to put travel advisories out, that we were going to stop travel in from China, to make decisions about our economy in Europe. All of those things happened at the front end. I remember there was criticism from certain parts of our political spectrum who said, hey, that's too fast, or hey, that's not the way we should go. And now the critique is just the opposite. What I've seen this administration do is take seriously this threat, to identify those who perpetrated it, where it began. And with respect to the WHO, we know that they had one job, right? A single mission: to prevent the spread of a pandemic. We know that the leader of that organization traveled to China and then declined to declare it a pandemic until everyone in the world knew that was